We are back. Senators, Twins, baseball, past, present, and future. My name is Ralph Tyko. I'm with the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. We have kind of a full house today. The hosts, minus George Case III, are here. George is on assignment. Chad Rubin, is scheduled to call in momentarily. Ronnie Rabinovitz is here. Ronnie,
yes.
Good morning.
Hi, Ralph. How are you, buddy?
Good. And the newest co-host, David Hubler, is here. How are you, sir?
I am as well as can be expected, considering I watched the Yankees lose another one last night.
Hi, David.
Yes.
Sorry about the
Ralph.
Yankees.
Same score.
I'm happy for my Dodgers, though.
Oh, yeah. Of course you are.
Yes, of course I am.
And your Twins had a very good year, too.
They sure did. They sure did.
Tough having
Wonderful
two
year.
children, one that you favor more than the other, but that's okay.
That's what's keeping me really in a good mood, because after all, nobody picked the Yankees to even be in the playoffs this year. So
right.
However far they go is better than the experts predict.
Right. The Astros got
what's
pretty
coming
good
out
team,
is that something I've known for a while, because I've had him in my fantasy league for the last few years. Jose Altuve, there's a case to be made that this guy is the best baseball player in America.
I think he could be.
Trout.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of them, but this kid is unbelievable. Middle infielder.
Especially pound for pound and inch per inch. He certainly deserves the MVP.
Uh-huh. That's for sure.
Pedroia is along the same lines of guys we little guys like to root for, because baseball is the kind of game you don't have to be 6'6", you don't have to be 380 to play. You could be a normal size human being.
Yes.
Right.
And
that's right.
Well, Mickey Mantle was no giant. He was only about 5'11", and had
amazed the same way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They weren't. They were pretty big, though. I mean, those are examples. Wide around and incredibly well proportioned.
Right.
But Altuve's fantastic. We are to be joined by Jim Mudcat Grant. I'm hoping that, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you, Ronnie and David, chat for a little bit.
Okay.
And, I am going to make a call. I'll put my producing hat on and try to reestablish contact with Mr. Grant. And you guys chat for a while about anything that comes to mind. That's what this is about.
Okay. All right. David, I was in Target Field this week speaking to kids, and they were very excited that the whole staff at the Twins, that they re-signed Molitor for a 3-year contract.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's going to be great.
I
think it was a smart move,
Yep.
and I think the players love him, and they like playing for him. So they were very excited about that, and I think the Twins are getting closer to making some noise here. They've got a terrific team. Mm-hmm. They need pitching. They need a starting pitching and relief pitching.
Yeah, well, it's like what we said last week, Yeah, what we said last week was that both the Yankees and the Twins seem to be in the same market, starting pitching. But you mentioned the Molitor signing. I believe me, I am anything but a Red Sox fan, but I can't understand why the Red Sox got rid of the manager. I mean, the guy won one World Series.
I'm surprised too. I'm surprised.
And he had a great reputation too, of being liked by the players, smart. I don't know. I mean, what do you have to do?
I was very surprised. I mean, what did the guy? I mean, he had a great year.
Yeah, they won the East.
Right,
and,
of course.
Yeah.
So I hear a rumor that
Yep.
Ron Gardenhire might be the new manager.
Really?
For the Red Sox. Yep.
And he was the Twins manager for how many years?
I was hoping to get him for the Mets.
Yeah. No,
that's a
rumor.
possibility too. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ron Gardenhire might be for the Red Sox. That's the rumor out here.
Assuming he's healthy again. He was ill for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's been a coach. I think wasn't he a coach with who was he a coach with this year? Was it the Diamondbacks or somewhere? I saw him on he's coaching this year.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I don't remember what team.
Yeah, it sounds like one of the teams out west, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. It could be the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure though.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Yankees re-sign Girardi too. This was the last.
There's rumors that might not be either.
Yeah, but I don't put too much stock in that. I mean, he seems to have a good relationship with owners and certainly with the players. And but for a couple of bad plays or whatever, they could be heading toward the World Series right now. And who knows? I mean, it still might happen. They were down.
It still might happen. You're right. It's a 7-game series, so you never know.
One thing that I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I said, they always talk about the golden age of baseball, the 30s, 40s, and 50s. But I think the playing today, the caliber of the play, the competition is much better than it's ever been. I mean,
think so?
Sure. Look at what are there, 30 teams now, and they used to be 16. And look how many really good teams there are, even in the top 4 going into the, heading into the World Series. Any one of those 4 teams has a legitimate claim on that title.
Absolutely.
Baseball is very lucky. You would think with the relatively quick expansion, we didn't have any expansion for like 100 years, no changes whatsoever. It was 8 teams in each league. Now we're up to 30 teams, 15 teams in each league. Now, where they lucked out, you would think the game would be cheapened, but they're now drawing from internationally.
True.
In terms of talent. So you've got the Dominican, you've got Korea, you've got Puerto Rico,
Japan. You do.
Japan,
Canada,
endless. The tragedy. The real tragedy is that there are fewer African Americans playing today.
Right.
That's right. Almost any time since 1947.
That's right. I think it's down below 7%, if I'm not mistaken. Which is
I've noticed though, the first couple of years that the Nats were here in Washington, I'd look around the stadium and you would not see more than a handful of African Americans in the stands. And little by little, that's increased. I don't say it's an overwhelming proportion of the audience, but it's beginning to get better and better. Washington is certainly a town that where 30-40% of any night at the ballpark could be made up of African American fans. I guess it's a slow progression, and
the Senators were very slow to integrate.
Yes, they were. They were one of the last teams.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they were.
But by the same token, they had a good number of Cubans, many of whom today would be considered African Cubans, or like that brand of music, Afro-Cuban jazz. So it wasn't totally non-integrated, but of course it wasn't American. It wasn't African American.
No. And Griffith was slow going to get the African Americans. He really
well, we've talked about that because
there were a few. I mean, the Yankees were one of the slower ones too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the Red Sox were the last one, if I'm not mistaken. The last,
Yeah, they were the last.
It's a shame.
Did I hear? Did Mr. Grant join us?
Yes.
Hey. Mr. Grant, I'd like to introduce you to first our audience of the Senators Twins, past, present, and future on the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'd like to introduce you to our co-host, Ron Rabinovitz. And
hi, Mudcat. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Ron. How you doing, man?
Good.
You guys have met.
Yes, we have met. I live in Minneapolis, and I remember the years you were playing. You were terrific. Fabulous.
Good. And David Hubler, I'd like you to meet Jim Mudcat Grant.
David?
Hey, how are you?
Fine.
I must tell you that growing up, one of my nicknames among my friends was Mudcat, so we retired. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you, even if it's just on the phone.
Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
That's great. That's great.
Mr. Grant, was your nickname David when you grew up at all? I'm
no.
just curious. Probably not. That's all right. Sometimes there's no symmetry in the world. But, Mr. Grant, first of all, I'd like to say what a privilege it is and to tell you what a hero you are in Minnesota, 1965. By far your best year in baseball statistically.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know, how was it that you came from the Indians to Minnesota, and were you happy initially when about moving to Minnesota?
Yes, I was very happy about it. In fact, when I heard about coming to the clubhouse, because I was with the Cleveland, as you know, I was with the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, sir.
And we were taking band practice. And when I heard about the fact that I should come up to the clubhouse, because the Twins was in town at that time to play us, then the Cleveland Indians. And they wanted me to come into the clubhouse. I come into the clubhouse, and they had packed my bags already. And I said, what's going on? What is this? They said they want you to come over to the Cleveland, the Minnesota Twins clubhouse, and I did go over there. And this big guy says, welcome. I says, welcome? They says, yeah. Says, you are now a Minnesota Twin, and it was Harmon Killebrew. And I said, how did, what's going on? They say Harmon Killebrew says you are now a Minnesota Twin. And that's how it started.
That's how it started. What do you attribute your terrific year in '65 to?
I had met the pitching coach, John Shane, and John Shane told me, he says, I like the way you throw the ball. There are some things I'd like to discuss with you. And we started talking about pitching. And John Shane told me, he says, would you prefer being a starter or a reliever? I said, well, whatever you say, whatever you want. So he said, okay, let's talk about starting pitching. And that's how it all started.
Wow. And you were a great Mudcat, you sure were.
Yes, you were. And that year, it all came together. Do you remember when, as a team, you really felt that you were going someplace?
I did. I was a start. Of course, you know that I was a starting pitcher there in Cleveland. But yes. I had heard about John Shane, and because he also was the pitching coach for Detroit and for some other teams, and it was interesting the way that he he talked about wanting to pitch 9 innings, wanted to be a starter.
You had 16 complete games in 1965.
Right.
14 or 16, something like that. Do you know how few pitchers pitch 16 complete games in a career nowadays? And I'm not exaggerating. That's a change in baseball since you've pitched that is prominent. What do you think of that? Has the game been hurt? Is today's game different in a positive way or in a negative way?
Well, in a positive way, when you really think about it, there was a pride thought in terms of game completions, and to just think about the fact that when you went out there on the mound, you stayed out there until the game was complete. It was a very prideful circumstance if you could complete a game. And I remember in New York, I pitched 16 innings. And just the fact that you could complete 9 innings, but I completed 16.
Wow.
16 innings.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was great. I think it was great.
Yeah, I was just going to say before I turn this over to David and Ronnie to ask questions, I just want to know, after you left the Twins, you kind of bounced around a little bit and pitched some in the National League, finished with the A's. What is the differences that you found between pitching in the National League and in the American League?
Well, the National League was more like a fastball league. It wasn't a breaking ball league like it was in the American League. It was more like you wanted to, get the ball over the plate in the National League, and you didn't throw as many breaking balls as we did in the American League. And I noticed that because a little bit later on, I not only started some games in the National League, but I was a relief pitcher for the Pirates in the National League. And it was just a matter of getting the ball over the plate, more fastballs than breaking balls, breaking stuff. And that's the way it was in the National American League.
Right. You mentioned, too, that you were a relief pitcher with the A's in 1970. You had 24 saves.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Great. It was unbelievable that when I got over there at the A's, it was just one of those circumstances where they wanted a relief pitcher, which I did do and did pretty good. And I found out that I really liked relieving. And Raleigh Fingers, I happened to be looking at the Hall of Fame circumstance, and and Raleigh Fingers, when he became a Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers says, "I want to thank Mudcat Grant for," and that was when I was with the A's. That was the time I spent a lot of talk to the relief pitchers over there. They didn't have that many, but when I when Raleigh Fingers and I discussed relieving, he was really interested in it, and he became a hell of a relief pitcher.
Oh, absolutely.
He sure was. He was great.
Jim, where did you live when you were out here in Oakland? Because I'm in Alameda, which is a little island right next door.
Well, I lived in the Alameda area for a while.
Okay.
And that was mostly where I lived while I was there in Oakland. And
okay.
then there was I'm going to say who I think that it was, but it was an organization there in Oakland, not far from the ballpark, that they offered to give us free lodging if we helped the kids in the area. And that was near the stadium over there. And when I moved into there, that's where I stayed at. Mm-hmm.
Okay. One more thing.
Where do you live now, Mudcat?
I'm
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me just ask you, Jim, which city you played in? Cleveland, Minnesota, L.A. with the Dodgers a little bit, even Montreal out of the country, St. Louis, Oakland, and Pittsburgh. Which city did you like the most? Probably I could answer that. You ended up in Los Angeles to live your life,
right?
So that's probably the city you like the most. Am I correct?
I like, Los Angeles is a great city, but I tell you, I really love Minneapolis.
Yep, they love you here too.
Yeah, I really did. Wonderful, wonderful folk, wonderful people, and I still have some really great friends, in Minnesota, and I go back to Minnesota every year.
I know you do.
They have what they call a Winter Fest.
Yes.
And I have great friends there. And Minneapolis, that was me. It was just wonderful.
Jim, I'd be remiss if I wouldn't ask you to talk to Ronnie about your memories of Jackie Robinson when you were growing up. As you know, Ronnie is the all-time friend of Jackie.
Well, Jackie, when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I got beat up a lot because I was a Larry Doby friend, and I really, for some reason, I met Larry Doby as a bad boy when Jackie Robinson, when they went barnstorming, and I was a bad boy in Tampa, Florida, which is not far from La Cucha, Florida, and I met Jackie first because of the fact that I was a bad boy. And Jackie didn't have time because he was the barnstorming guy. He was, in charge of his barnstorming team. And when I tried to speak to Mr. Robinson at first, he was really too busy. And he walked off. And Jackie, Larry Doby says, well, he's real busy right now, says, but he'll be back in a second or two. But anyway, that's how I met Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby at that time. And
Jim, can you tell us something about Larry Doby that we don't know?
About Larry Doby, yeah, he's the first African American in the American League.
Oh yes, but personally, as a friend, what was he like?
Larry Doby, he taught me. He taught me so much about the game, and he made so many suggestions. I remember when I made it there with the Cleveland Indians, they had me a room in spring training with Larry Doby, and it scared me to death. I said, I can't room with Larry. They said, you rooming with Larry Doby. I said, I am not rooming with Larry Doby. They were out at spring training. We were in spring training that time. They were at the ballpark, and they gave me a key to the room, and I went in the room, and there was Larry Doby's stuff. His shoes were shined. His clothing was, it was like he just couldn't. I couldn't believe that I was there. So when I sat down in the room, and then I heard the door open. So he said, "Oh, you must be Mudcat Grant." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." He says, "Which bed would you like? This bed?" I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." He says, "Okay, we got to stop this." "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." But he taught me.
I know how you feel, Mr. Grant.
But he told me so much about the game itself, and he told me, he says, "Now listen," he says, "some of the most important people you're going to meet are the fans." And he says, when a fan asks you for an autograph, you sign it. I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." And that's the way it was. Whenever I was asked for an autograph, I made sure I signed because I thought so much of Larry Doby.
That's great.
Great.
That's great. I know you used to sign a lot of autographs, Mudcat. I know that.
Yeah. It's a shame that George isn't with us today, because it was George's father, George Case Jr., who actually gave Larry Doby his first bats when he came up to the Indians. The story is that they were friends before they were on the field as competitors. They knew each other, I think, in the Navy. When Larry Doby was called up to the Indians, just about June or July of that 47 season, he called George and he said, "I don't have any equipment." So George Case Jr. From the Senators sent him a couple of bats. So it was with George Case's bat that he actually struck out the first time he was up the pad in majors.
Blame it on the white guy.
Yeah. Mudcat, do you go to spring training or anything with the Twins or help with some of the young players?
No, but I do spend some time at the Winterfest.
Winterfest, the Twins Fest, yes.
Yeah, the Twins Fest, yeah. And I go to Minneapolis all the time and spend time with friends. And,
I know Tony's a dear friend of yours, Tony Oliva.
Oh, Tony Oliva, but, I have many fan friends.
Yes. I know you do. I know you do.
In Minnesota. And during the summer, when I can, when the doctors let me, I just jump up and I says, I'm going to go and see a weekend game or something like that to Minnesota, because
great.
The fact that it was the World Series time and the fact that Tony Oliva, Harmon Killebrew, Tranquility, all of those guys, and that World Series time, it was really, and I made the All-Star game one year.
Yes.
there, and it was kind of funny because Willie Stargell, and let me see, the All-Star game was in Minneapolis, and Willie Stargell, Willie Mays, all of those guys, and when I saw that lineup, I said, "Oh my goodness!" I don't know.
It was a pretty strong lineup, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a strong lineup, and I didn't get past when I pitched at that All-Star game. Willie Stargell hit a ball off of me. And they had a band out there in left center, and that ball went way out there. and the band, they had these kids had these tubas, and the ball went in one of the tubas. It went whoop.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's a great story.
So funny. He could hit, I'll tell you.
Picture that. I tell you, unbelievable.
Jim,
I'll tell you a funny story about Will. Go ahead, Ralph.
No, you go ahead, Ronnie. I'm sorry.
I was going to tell Mudcat, all of you, my son at the time was about 5 years old, 6 years old. We were watching a game on television, and the Pirates were playing. Mm-hmm. And Willie Stargell comes up to bat, and I pick up the phone like I'm pretending that I'm going to call Willie. And I said, "Willie, this is Ron Rabinovitz. I want you to hit a home run for my son, Jeffrey." And the next pitch, over the fence, my kid got so crazy. His eyes, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Well, my son Jeff met Willie Stargell too.
Yeah.
In different circumstances. He was appearing at a motel doing some promotional stuff, and everybody was sitting there in the auditorium waiting for Willie Stargell to come. And I had heard that he was already in the building, but he wasn't up on the platform yet. So my Jeff was about 8. And I said, "Come on, let's go. We'll go downstairs." So we went downstairs, and sure enough, there was Willie Stargell just sitting in the room waiting to be called. So we went in, and he was very courteous and friendly, and he talked to Jeffrey and gave him an autograph, and it was really a nice guy. And then we went back upstairs and listened to him.
Yeah.
Well, Willie Stargell went to Encinal High School in Alameda, which is less than a mile from where I live. Where I'm standing right now. And
I have a question for Mudcat, because this is one thing I'd always wanted to talk to a Major League pitcher about, and that is you were quite successful as both a starter and a reliever. I mean, 24 saves in that era when pitchers, as you say, were going 9 innings, 16 innings in your case. What is it? Is it the physical makeup or the mental makeup that makes a good reliever as opposed to a starting pitcher? What's the difference?
I think, if you, in being a reliever, I think it's a mental makeup because there's several things you have to think about. When you are, especially when you are a short reliever, you want to make sure that you really get the save for that pitcher that you're relieving. You want to make sure of that, and on top of that, you want to make sure that you protect the game if you are ahead, or if you even tied up or something like that. You want to make sure that you protect the game itself in terms of relief pitcher and get that win. And if you did that, your teammates, man, they were happy that because it is not easy to be a relief short reliever.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy at all. You have to, and usually you're going to come in the game with the game on the line.
Right.
And if you can do that, if you can save that game, that's big time and so forth. And especially if you save a bunch of them.
Right. And 24 saves, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Jim, how do you channel the competitive energy after you retired, especially the first few years? The competition, what did you do? Did you play golf? Did you play tennis?
Yeah.
How did you get over that?
Yeah, I did play golf. Plus the fact this year will be my 18th golf tournament. I for juvenile diabetes.
Wonderful.
We've reached $1 million era.
Fabulous. Oh, that's great.
Where is the tournament held?
Binghamton, New York.
Oh, Binghamton, New York. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and of course, I wrote
Kodak country.
How's that?
That was Kodak country.
Yeah, it was. It was at one time.
How can people get in touch with you regarding this tournament, either to contribute or to play? Is there a website or that we can call or get in touch with?
You can just get in touch with me through here we go now. That one thing about getting old is that your memories get.
Yeah, but that's far exceeded by the alternative.
Right. Are you on Facebook, Mudcat, at all?
You can find me. All you have to do is go and look for Mudcat Grant.
Okay.
You
on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find you there, and we'll even put a link to this show up on Facebook, on your Facebook, and all your fans can get to hear me babble my questions to you.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be super.
They'll be delighted.
And I'll get in touch with you, Mudcat, because I'd love to see you again when you get back to Minneapolis.
Great.
Maybe we could have lunch.
That'll be super.
Maybe we could have lunch.
That would be great.
I do a lot of work with the Twins. I speak at the Target Field a lot.
Oh, great!
I was there yesterday. I speak to kids that go through tour groups that go through the stadium about my friendship with Jackie Robinson. I talk about bullying and inclusion and diversity and things like that.
Oh yeah, so, I do the same thing from time to time. So we could get together.
That would be great. I'll show you all the letters and pictures I got from him. You'd love it. It was really amazing. Are you living in Los Angeles now?
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
Do you ever get to any of the Dodger games?
I don't drive. They won't let me drive anymore, so I can't get up to the game. I would like to get to a couple of games.
Sure.
Yeah,
they'd love to have you there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But I watched the games, and I watched the games last night.
I did too. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I'm a Dodger fan from way, way back.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember Lou Johnson.
Sure.
Sweet Lou.
Yeah, Sweet Lou. Yeah. Usually Lou leave me some tickets and stuff like that, but I haven't been able to find him. Maybe he's back down south.
I thought he was still with the Dodgers.
I thought he was with the Dodgers too, but I can't find him anywhere.
I think he's with their community relations, like Don Newcomb's there.
Yeah, Don Newcomb's here, and Lou Johnson usually was here. You know, but I can't seem to find him, and I called the Dodgers office, and they haven't given me any information on Lou. I know he's still kicking somewhere.
Yeah, definitely alive.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I'll see if I can find out for you, okay, Mudcat?
That would be great if you could.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, well,
I'll
good.
see what I can
and
do.
Mudcat, really quick before you go, do you have memories of the 59 pennant race with the White Sox in Cleveland? That was a great pennant race.
Yeah, it was, you know, and it was, we were close. We thought that we were right in there, and we were, you know, during the season. But I remember the White Sox was, you know, they were right in there, you know, for a long time that year.
Right. If memory serves, you played with Minnie Minoso on that White Sox team.
Yeah, I played against Minnie Minoso.
Against Minnie Minoso. I want your opinion. Should Minnie Minoso be in the Hall of Fame?
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Okay, I agree. I'm one of those who thinks that's a big misjustice.
Be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Vader Pinson.
Oh, Vader Pinson, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Gil Hodges.
And tell me about it. You know, Gil Hodges for sure. Good man.
Yeah. Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. Right. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, sir, for joining us today. And this was a thrill for all three of us, I can assure you.
Thank you.
It really was, Mudcat. Thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I hope to run into some of you guys in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Okay. I'll send you a note, okay?
Oh, great. That would be super.
Okay. And I'll let you know about Sweet Lou if I can find him.
Okay, great. Super.
Okay.
Right.
Please come back and join us another time and keep up with your wonderful retirement.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Be well. Everybody out there, please keep on keeping on. Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm Ralph Tyko. The co-hosts are Ronnie Rabinovitz. George Case isn't with us. He's going to be very sad about this. And David Hubler. So thank you, Jim. Mudcat Grant. Adios, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Ralph. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.